G'day everybody, Mr. D here. Are you involved in sport, PE or fitness? Well, you'll probably be familiar with the concept of training, which is trying to improve various components of fitness. But did you know that training types and training methods are two different things? Stick around, let's find out why. So it is a common misconception that training types and training methods are interchangeable, but they are actually two different things, related but different. So here we can see four training types: aerobic, anaerobic, strength, and flexibility. These are the main types of training, or what we want to improve. Within each of these, there are training methods. These are the how. So training types, that's what we want to improve. Training methods is how we want to improve it. Let's have a look at each of these, starting with aerobic training. Within aerobic training types, we have aerobic training methods. These are continuous, long interval training, fartlek, circuit, and HIIT. Let's look at each of these. First, we have continuous. As the name suggests, this is a low intensity repetitive movement. Examples include skipping, long distance running, riding, or swimming. Next, we have long interval training. These are repeated efforts of running, riding, or swimming with a medium to high intensity. Key point here, we have short rest periods and relatively long sprint periods. For example, 200 meters. Next, we have fartlek. This is Swedish for speed play. This training method alternates between walking, running, and sprinting, sometimes randomly. It's highly relevant to sport. Second last, we have circuit training. This uses stations with different exercise or activity. There is a designated time at each station, and rest and intensities can vary. To make this more aerobic, your rest time will be lower, your intensity will be medium or high, and your time designated at each station will be longer. And finally, we have HIIT training, which stands for high intensity interval training. Again, this is similar to circuit training by using stations with different exercises and activities. The key point here is, unlike circuit training, high intensity interval training relies on using maximal intensity at each station. So they are the aerobic training methods within the aerobic training type. Next, let's look at anaerobic. So anaerobic means without oxygen. So these activities, these training methods, work the body's ATP-PC system and lactic acid system. Both of these don't use oxygen. Examples are sit and HIIT. Sit stands for short interval training, also known as sprint training. This goes over short distances, long recovery times, and may cause that burning feeling in your legs and arms relating to lactic acid. An example of this would be several 20-meter sprints. And again, we've been over high intensity interval training, but to make this more anaerobic, we'll have high intensities, shorter work time, and longer rest time. So they are the anaerobic training methods within the anaerobic training type. Next, we move on to strength. Strength training methods include resistance, plyometrics, circuit or HIIT training, and Olympic lifting. First, we have resistance training. This involves weights, elastic, and machine. This equipment is common in most gyms. Plyometrics. Unlike the previous training method, you don't use equipment for this necessarily. This develops power and involves body weight exercises with explosive movements such as jumping, bounding, and throwing. Next, we have circuit training and HIIT training. We've covered these before, but in the context of strength, you'll again have different stations. You'll have certain exercises, specifically body weight or weight. You'll have medium periods of rest, and the aim is to develop the fitness components of muscular endurance and muscular strength. Common exercises you might see here would be push-ups, sit-ups, or squats. And finally, we have Olympic lifting. These are large compound movements, usually done with a barbell. Very heavy weights, few repetitions. Very heavy weights, very few repetitions. The example would be the snatch, the clean and jerk, and the push press. So they are the strength training methods. Finally, we move on to flexibility. The training methods within this training type include static, dynamic, and PNF. Up first, we have static. As the name suggests, static means no movement, stationary poses, and the best time to do this is after exercise, because if you do it before or during, you can actually decrease your power and increase your likelihood of injury. Next, we have dynamic stretching. Unlike static, this involves movement stretches. These are more sport specific and they improve flexibility without decreasing power. And these are great to do before exercise. Examples would be lunges and leg swings. And finally, we have PNF. This stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. This is the most effective form of stretching and increasing range of movement. Really important we do this after exercise or in a standalone flexibility session. How it works, you alternate between stretching, for example the hamstring, then you'll contract, which means pushing against something, and then you'll finally relax, rest, and push further. The idea if you do this 3 or 4 times is that your flexibility will improve dramatically. You've just learnt the difference between the training types and training methods, ready to go and improve your fitness. Thanks very much for watching this video. Would you like to learn more? Feel free to subscribe. If you have questions about today's video, comment below. And if you did enjoy this video or learnt something, give it a like. Thanks everybody. See you next time.